Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys, with a little bit of follow-up news. I wanted to follow up on some stuff I dropped earlier this morning. Nothing really on Supreme Darkness. I was lucky enough that I caught all of the actual new cards that were revealed. That leaves about 10 cards left for Supreme Darkness to be revealed. We'll do a more comprehensive, like, full set discussion in a little bit. Down the line once we know a little bit more there. And then, but going back to the new set revealed for the TCG, Maze of the Master, the new TCG exclusive set. We're definitely gonna have some TCG exclusives as well as some others. There's some really interesting stuff being shown off here. So originally, the original pictures are way too blurry for anybody to make sense of them, but we've gotten some better resolution pictures since then. And when you kind of take a little bit of different packs and take a more in-depth look at the artwork here, we get pretty solid confirmation that, one, this probably should have all the Animation Chronicle cards from 2024 in them. Not that there was anything too crazy from Animation Chronicle. There were some cards here and there. I know there's this equip spell. I think that's what this card is for the Millennium archetype. I know the Allure Queen cards are interesting. I don't know exactly how good they are, but they're interesting. But the bigger thing to me is all these new cards. There's a bunch of new artworks on here, and they all allude to one thing: Odion support. Odion played trap monsters in the Battle City arc of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! DM anime and manga, and really cool. Like, even back then, basically from that point on, almost until we got Paleos, everybody was like, why aren't they doing more with Odion, with trap monsters, yada yada. We've gotten some trap monsters here or there, but there's some really spicy artwork shown off here. So this is like I don't want to kill the name, but like Beast of Serket, I think, like, the name was. This guy just looks crazy. Like, they're just like evolved forms basically of some of the monsters we've seen. There's like a bigger form of like Anubis. This looks like a bigger form of Apophis. The trap monster that already exists. Another like nasty looking bug down here, and even like the I think he was the first one that played the card. Is it the field spell that lets you activate traps the turn they're set, or one trap the turn it's set? It looks like it may be a more modern version of that. Maybe that's like some sort of starter / searcher that searches any trap monster. And then this just straight up is Odion, right? We can all agree this is just straight up a picture of Odion. And again, another Millennium, item that could also have something to do with Odion's deck. Really cool. Other than that, you see like this picture here. Nothing too crazy going on here that like we don't already know. Ooh, except for this, I didn't actually realize this. So this is actually showing off the Blue Angel, Trickstar Blue Angel, which is basically confirmation that we're going to get the Trickstar cards in this set as well. Don't know if they show off either. Yeah, even another Trickstar card down here. I don't know if they show... Oh yeah, here we go. And they show the XYZ and the Tachyon cards. Wow, that makes this set way more spicy already. With just the Animation Chronicle stuff, I was like, 2024 was honestly the most underwhelming Animation Chronicle year we've had in a couple. We had Bonfire and Transaction Rollback the year before. We had some better stuff the year before. Nothing really crazy this year. But we see that we're getting all of the Dual Sub-Brilliant stuff integrated here as well, which I think really helps add value to this set, alongside with hopefully some cool stuff for Odion. So just as a little small bonus for this video, I want to talk a little bit about this as well. Just a couple cards we already have that make Odion extra spicy already out the gate. So Silhouette Rabbit is first and foremost number one. It means as long as Odion's deck does not restrict you, that means any generic engine that just helps you put two bodies on the field, you can search ideally any of Odion's trap monsters, which is really cool. Another really interesting thing to note is the new Argostar archetype. This is a really underwhelming archetype, but if you throw it into the context of Silhouette Rabbit combined with some of the other generic trap monsters that already exist that are decent, and potentially Odion getting a new archetype that like maybe makes trap monsters extra searchable. You're able to get a bunch of for free. Maybe this is just another engine where you just want to play the main deck monster because she's a normal summon that just gets trap monsters in rotation. I don't know exactly what the deck's going to do. We have to wait and see, but this is something I wouldn't ignore. This is something I would put in the back of my mind. Well, not in the back of my mind, but the side of my mind, not all the way in the back. Just keeping it in mind when we read those cards for the first time, and what synergy they might have. And then for as like some just like decent generic ones that already exist, Apophis is a really interesting one. He is a non-target negate for any face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of continuous traps you control other than himself. So ideally in an archetype, Odion based with a bunch of new trap monsters, you should have more than him at all times, which means this card can help you with board breakers, which ideally a trap monster deck could be really weak to the Evenleys, the Lightning Storms of the world. So that would be really, really nice addition for the deck, especially searchability wise. And Angel Statue as a Rune. This is the one I've been choosing to tech when I've been building any deck recently with Silhouette Rabbit in it. It's just a good generic trap monster if the deck just kind of needs names and like just benefits and has synergy with just like generic trap monsters. This is probably an additional one I would probably look at containing. There's also the other one that pairs with Silhouette. It's just called, I think, Silhouette. So you can mess with that as well. But these two, in my opinion, are just more interesting for this. But that's not a card to forget about for sure. But very cool. Really excited. I actually didn't even check the date on this. I'm assuming it's going to be like closer to March if I had to guess. Wow, way sooner. Okay. Yeah, no, it actually is close to March. Right. Week and a half before March. So February 21st. That's kind of nice because Supreme Darkness, I think, is set for late January. So once we get, that's a core set. That's going to have some hype to it. Then you only have to wait another month for a set like this that's going to have ABC, the new Odion cards, Trickstar, Tachyon, a handful of things that are and then there is some interesting stuff from Animation Chronicle, but that's cool. The set is rounding out a little more interesting than I thought it might be on first thought, especially diving into more of this stuff. So very, very cool. Yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. What are you most excited for from this set? What are you hoping for from the Odion cards? Because that's the biggest unknown right now, and that could either make, I don't want to say break the set, because the set's going to have some legs to it regardless, but like it can absolutely make the set. If the Odion cards are really cool and a legit awesome rogue deck, like Flame Swordsman, we haven't really seen it do much aside from be like a potential combining engine with like Infernoble Knight. We didn't see really much from the Gate Guardian cards the year before. It'd be cool to finally get one of these like anime TCG exclusive archetypes that we get in the Maze sets finally come through as like a legit rogue archetype. And if it's trap monsters, I would assume this deck would play pretty damn well into stuff like the Mulcharmies. So we'll have to keep an eye on that as well, if they don't really have to spam the board like crazy, especially not turn one. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm out of here for today, though. Thank you so much for watching, as always, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. Answer all my questions down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And stay tuned for more things, news from me down the line. Thanks for watching. Peace.